Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and we got a little sneak peek of what Overwatch 2 is going to look like in the year 2024, which includes more collaborations, possibly changes to monetization, and also possibly making heroes free, PvE in Overwatch 2 maybe not being ignored anymore, also changes to Mythic skins in the Battle Pass, and just so much more. And all this information is coming from an interview that my fellow Overwatch creator SVB had with the executive producer with Overwatch 2, Jared. And I really like how the Overwatch development team is actually being more public with their plans with what they plan to do with Overwatch 2, but I do want to preference by saying that just because it was talked about doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% going to happen. But if I could ever suggest anything to the development team, is that if Overwatch creators like SVB and even just the community are talking about it, it's probably because we need this in the game for it to succeed. And the first thing that not enough people surprisingly is talking about is the future for added heroes in Overwatch 2 and possibly making them free upon launch.
Would I like for every single player to be able to experience a hero the day that a season drops? Yes. Do I think that we will get there? Yes, I do think that we will get there, and we're actively working towards it right now.
Believe me when I say that if Overwatch decided to have heroes free for everybody upon launch, it could affect you in more ways than you can ever imagine. Like I mentioned before, in Overwatch 1, everybody rallied around the new hero and played Overwatch for just that day, for just that week, but they were at least playing Overwatch. But now in Overwatch 2, when people come and load into Overwatch 2 and they see that there's a new hero, but it's locked behind a $10 battle pass, they're gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna play the new hero. You know, I'm not even gonna play Overwatch 2. I'm just gonna go play Apex and play my main in that game. And it's really just as simple as that. Like, this monetization of heroes scares away even somewhat casual Overwatch players from potentially finding the main that makes them love Overwatch and spends hundreds of thousands of hours in the game, but now they can't because of the $10 paywall. Not even just that, but also just counterpicking, because this is a core fundamental part about Overwatch that the monetization team just completely ignores. If someone doesn't have the newest hero unlocked and they just so happen to be the most powerful hero of all time, or even better yet, they counter another hero on the enemy team, then you're at a clear disadvantage because you either don't have the funds to buy the newest hero or you don't have enough time to grind the game. So hopefully they can do that before the new hero venture comes out. But there's other things within monetization that are also probably going to be changing, which includes Mythic skins. So Jared went on and said that they heard the feedback and criticism with the past two Mythic skins with Hanzo and Orisa, but they said that, that while they heard them, that they don't really think that they should try to get back to the expectation like how it used to be back in Season 1.
I don't know if we'll ever go all in forever on the level of customization that Genji had. Like, that was a really complicated skin out of the gate. But I know that we can provide players with more customization than we are now.
This is something that I definitely disagree with when it comes to Jared, is thinking that while there's not a set format for Mythic skins, just accepting the fact that color swaps could be the difference between a legendary skin and a Mythic skin is just BS. And the reason why it's BS is because, well, one, Blizzard is not a small indie company. They can go out and hire any artist in the whole entire world tomorrow, and they will get to California the next day and start working on Mythic skins. They have the funds to do so, especially with Microsoft, so I know that they can do it. But the second reason why it's BS is because we're funding the Mythic skins. We're buying these battle passes. So when you set expectations that there's gonna be a skin that's a step above legendary skins, with the first couple being the Cyber Demon Genji skin, the Zeus Junker Queen skin, and the Kiriko Mythic skin, and you have this expectation set for every single battle pass, and when we're funding it, yeah, we kind of expect those Mythic skins to be on the same level as the first couple ones. And when you only give us a couple of color swaps, meanwhile, you're also rehashing legendary skins to also have the same color swaps just like Mythic skins, and also charging more for those skins, it makes us wonder, is this really a matter of lack of manpower or greed? Because I guarantee that if you not only hire more people to work on the skins themselves, the customization, the VFS, and the SFX, but also have the current artists stop working on rehash legendary skins and work on the Mythic skins, you can have the same level of Mythic skins that you had in Season 1 and Season 2 and so on. So how about this? How about we kind of give and take here? If you're not willing to work on Mythic skins and the customization options, then how about you do something that we've kind of been asking for a couple of seasons now, and giving us Overwatch 2 coins within the Battle Pass. An idea that I had is that you keep weekly challenges how they are, but how about within the Battle Pass you can earn up to 500 Overwatch 2 coins. That way, if you complete the Battle Pass and complete all 9 weeks of your challenge challenges, you get next season's Battle Pass, which includes a Mythic skin with only 4 color swap options. That way, we can't really complain about the Mythic skin because it's technically for free because we grind the game. It's just unfortunate because, well, now you're pulling back the effort in this category of Overwatch, which shouldn't be pulled back on. I don't know, that's just my thought, but hey, if we want to spend more money, then how about spending more money on collaborations within Overwatch 2, because you already know we're going to be getting more of these in 2024, and Jared suggested that while we might not be getting anime collabs, we're probably going to be getting either collabs with other video games or possibly just with other entities in the world.
We have a bunch of different collabs. I would love to collaborate with other video games. Like, I think that is so cool when there's like that crossover audience and they get to see something that they love and it's in this different form that they also are excited about. Like, I think that that's sick. But there's other stuff.
SVB kind of hinted at the idea that Apex did a collaboration with Final Fantasy, so could there be room for Overwatch to collaborate with another game? And I will say that collaborating with another game, it definitely seems more possible than what it used to be a couple of years ago. Could you imagine like a Team Fortress 2 collaboration, a game that originally was inspired by Team Fortress now coming together and working together? That could be a possibility. Possibly a Fall Guys collaboration where a skin might be hard to collab, but a game mode where we take some of the Fall Guys game modes and put them in Overwatch could be a thing. Or possibly even Fortnite, because Fortnite, they don't care who they collaborate with. They just want to collaborate with every single entity of the whole entire world. But what I think is going to happen is that we're going to see collaborations similar to like the Les Seraphim collab. Now, possibly not another K-pop collab, even though that's probably one of the most successful collaborations that we'll ever get in Overwatch. But something that I could definitely see happening is something like a Squid Game 2 collaboration within Overwatch 2, with like D.Va getting either the pink guard uniform skin or the green jumpsuit skin, or just something from Squid Game to promote Squid Game 2 coming to Netflix. I don't know, but just let me know in the comments down below what collaborations you want to see in Overwatch 2. Do you want to see another anime collab? Do you want to see another K-pop collab? Or do you want to see something else done within the game? Like maybe a shoe company like Nike and Jordan? I don't know. Maybe something like that can happen. But we're going to talk about the elephant in the room here, because Blizzard seems to be ignoring it every single season, and that is Overwatch's 2 PvE, because, where is it? Well, SVB asked that question to Jared, and this is what he had to say.
We have been trying different things with PvE. And that's going to be the theme going forward. But we also want to try these other things that are like smaller, replayable things, these like breaks from the action where you can, have this very different experience.
So from what I'm hearing is that Overwatch 2 PvE is not necessarily abandoned, but probably the closest to it, because he says that they want to have these small moments where they release Overwatch 2 PvE rather than having a big giant moment like what we all originally anticipated back in 2019, with a full campaign with like 10 plus missions and us to play through it and explore all these different parts of the world and see these animations, and that's just not happening. It's just not. But what's also not happening is them releasing PvE missions in small doses, and I think it's all because they've just really shifted away from PvE, because their vision of Overwatch 2 really doesn't have PvE in mind, because in reality it doesn't make them a lot of money. When you think about it, when it comes to PvE, you gotta have the story, you gotta have animations, you gotta have a gameplay infrastructure, and that all takes a lot of money, versus taking a legendary skin that already exists and making a recolor of it and releasing it and selling it for $20. That makes them a lot of money, versus releasing a PvE mission. But what makes this even more infuriating to hear is what Jared also had to say about PvE and how they just couldn't do it.
When you look at it in the context of a live game, it's like, well, you couldn't drop 3 of those a season. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, we don't have a big enough team for that. We don't have enough development time to like build up that set of missions for it.
What Jared said about PvE makes absolutely zero sense, because he's basically saying that the team can't possibly release 3 PvE missions every single Overwatch 2 season. And while I didn't necessarily expect there to be 3 new PvE missions released every season, I kind of expected there to just be PvE missions, because that's the whole point of Overwatch 2. Jared got hired a couple of weeks after Overwatch 2 release, so he wasn't around the 2-year drought of Overwatch 1 getting completely ignored. The whole point of Overwatch 1 getting ignored was to make PvE missions, was to ensure that there would be, how he said it, 3 missions released every season, but also just that there would be PvE upon launch. There wasn't, and there so far has only been 3 PvE missions released, one of which was already made made available at 2019 BlizzCon. So really, there's only 2 new missions released. So this basically tells me that the Overwatch team just kind of wants to abandon PvE. If that's going to happen, I'm not 100% sure, but look at the writing on the wall. Have they talked about PvE? No. Did they say anything about PvE at BlizzCon, the biggest stage for Overwatch 2? No, they haven't. So what does that really tell you about PvE? That yes, there's gonna be this brand new expansion with tons of missions? I wouldn't put my money on it. And the final thing that they continuously talk about, which I'm kind of surprised by, is quick play lever penalties. Now, this is something that I'm confused about because I didn't think this would be such a hot topic, was people feeling like they are entitled to leave a quick play game when that kind of ruins the game for everybody within that game. But this is what Jared had to say about quick play lever penalties.
I feel strongly that we need penalties. I don't think that we're exactly where they need to be. The immediate impact that those changes had was incredible. Like, it was a massive change in our lever rates.
So if you're somebody that hates quick play lever penalties, you can have hope because they're not at a spot that they want quick play lever penalties to be at. But if I can ruin that hope, that probably just means that's going to be harsher penalties coming down the road. Look, my thoughts when it comes to quick play lever penalties, which I didn't think this needed to be a hot discussion, is that if you're continuously leaving games to the point where you're even getting a penalty, you kind of deserve it. Look, you can leave 1 game, 2 games, even like 4 games and not get a penalty. But if you're continuously leaving games, you just suck, dude. I'm sorry. Play your 10-minute quick play game and then stop playing. It's just as simple as that. It really is. But anyway, guys, that was everything in this interview in regards to the future for Overwatch 2. Let me know what you think about everything that's going to be going on with the collaborations, with the quick play lever penalties, but also with PvE, because it seems like there are some really bright spots with Overwatch 2 and some really dark spots, most notably with PvE. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.